Hey guys, back again with another Jake's Metal Chat. Just waiting for my guests to appear. This is episode number 26, and I'm just seeing how many views I've had so far on my videos, and so far, just looking at my Jake's Metal Chat videos only. My chat with, gonna give him a shout out, Ken. That has been viewed 240 times already. Wow, that's mental. 240 times. Ken, who is in a band called Unnatural, he just sent me the CD, which should have got that out. I'll show it in the next one that I'm doing tomorrow. Then, so I'll give him a shout out. In fact, let me just pause this and then I'll go get it. Hey guys, just thought I go get the CDs that I was on about. Ken's band, Unnatural. This is the compilation CD. I almost said what Ken says. He says compilation. This is compilation. Even if I said one or the other, you know what I'm on about. This is the compilation with all the demos on it. Demos and EPs. You probably can't even see it. Hang on. Nope. Oh, I still can't probably see it. Never mind. But it's got afflictions. Applications demo. I think I said that one. That's from 2015. The Path to Ruin EP from 2016. Cursed EP from 2018. And Collating Putrefaction EP from 2020. I might have said that wrong as well. But anyway, yeah, I got this from Ken, and if I open the book, I might be able to find my name, as he has put me in the book next to Liam, the Death Doom Metalhead. I've had a long day today. I had a Zoom session earlier, so still can't talk. And of course, this is the book. You can see Ken on the vocals. And the other guy with him is Ted, who used to be in the band Morgue from Illinois. If those guys ever got back together again, that'd be amazing. I'm going to add my guests in a minute. But we'll be blasting this. Because I've heard Cursed from 2018. I didn't hear it back in 2018. I've heard the EP, but I will be blasting everything on here pretty much after this interview, basically, after this chat. And as well as sending me this, he sent me some stickers on the game and this one here. And he sent me a bunch of posters which are on there. I'll show him in the next video. He also sent me a bunch of demos, as you can see here. And and that's pretty much the demos. So we got tracks 1 to 7 of Mortis, As My Suffering Grows from 1993. Tracks. What? I don't know what I'm talking about. Tracks 8 to 10. Genital Grinder, Mass Putrefaction, demo from 1991. Morgue from. This is the band from Sweden. Tracks 11 to 15. Morgue, Gospel of Gore, demo from 1992. And tracks 16 to 20. Midian, War Beyond the Flesh, demo 1993. Anyway, I'm just just thought I'd show you that off. So I had him on here, and I've been supporting his channel for quite a long time now. So thank you very much, Ken, for doing that for me. Hang on, let me just get both of them in. I think one might have left, but there we go.
Hello.
Hello.
Guys?
Yeah, I'm all good. How are you?
No, not bad. Not bad at all.
Awesome. Just need your face to.
Bob is saying that he's also in the. He should be in the lobby or something.
I think he was. He might have logged out briefly. I'll get him back, I guess. Well, not get him back. I'll get him. Just got to remember his. Yeah. How are you doing?
A bit tired, but just midweek grind, really.
Yeah. So it is. Okay. I was trying to remember. Yeah, Rob. I know it's Rob. Yeah, I think he was there, but I was just showing some CDs off to people. I'll just send him it anyway. Hopefully he gets it. Anyhow, these are CD I was showing. Some Unnatural.
Oh, right. Okay.
Some band from Illinois.
Oh, cool.
And I had Ken from Ken's Death Metal Crypt on here last year.
Oh, okay.
And not only he sent me that CD, and he also sent me another CD with a bunch of demos on it, which I thought was really fucking cool. And it's this.
Oh, all right, okay.
Probably showed YouTubers this. I've heard of the first band, because it's an old band. Forgot to mention. I know the band. I know the band is. And the CD looks like a vinyl.
Oh, cool. Rob's just saying he's going to try dialing again because he's apparently waiting in the lobby to be let in.
Oh, now I see him. Okay, because I was doing this, I was like, show CDs first and then let people in. Me being all like, I had a Zoom session today, and it's like, I'm gone for a walk to clear my head. Yeah. Do we have Rob? Yes, we have Rob.
You do.
How you doing, mate?
Not bad, you?
Yeah, I'm all good. It's all good here on my end. Not drinking alcohol, drinking orange juice.
Just some standard water here, so.
We're hitting the hard stuff in this chat.
I've got a cup of tea, so.
Very British. Well, welcome to Jake's Metal Chat, you two. You are guests number 25.
Thank you for having us.
And yeah, well, I thought I need to get more people from all over, not just like from over the UK, because I've had people from obviously here in Bristol and then some in London and Kari from Solidus and then last year. And I love this scenery because it was all woods. Because where he lives, he's just surrounded by woodland.
Yeah, he's got a new house now out in the country, doesn't he? Yeah,
that's what he was chatting me from. And I'm looking at Jamie's background. It's King Diamond.
Yeah,
can't go wrong with King Diamond.
Yeah, it's the one reason to like Zoom. You can just do really stupid backgrounds. So.
Really stupid backgrounds.
Yeah,
I've never used Zoom before, so I don't even know how to do it. So
you go on where the camera is, where you either stop or start video, and then you go on the arrow and choose virtual background.
Let's have a look.
I've done it before, but I think my background's not very stable.
Just gonna get a picture full of dicks.
Picture full of dicks.
Yeah.
That's just it.
I'll do it another time.
Do it another time. But anyway, anyone who might be watching this video, you don't have to, but it does help the channel out. This is Jamie, and this is Rob, and they're in live burial, all the way in Newcastle.
Hey, man.
One way up north, further up from me. Never been to Newcastle, but I've gone to Scotland, but never gone to Newcastle.
Oh, you should. It's good. It's a good city.
Cool.
I'll try when lockdown eases.
Yeah, you won't be going anytime soon.
If
When,
that ever happens.
if or when. I'm saying when, if or when. But hopefully it will. If not, then we'll just fuck. That's what I've got to say. Fuck. Just fuck. But yeah, just get this one out of the way. How have you been coping through COVID?
Yeah, fine. Like, I mean, we're pretty grounded at the moment, but we've managed to write an album just with the sort of downtime. It's just like kind of like getting back in the room to practice it, really. So we're just really waiting for things to calm down everywhere before we're thinking about sitting back in the rehearsal room again.
Yeah, I think our initial target was to record in the summer, but I think that'll get pushed back because I can't see us practicing for a little while. And we've not had any practices with our drummer, Matt, for a long time as well. So, yeah, we've been productive as much as we can during the time, but it's not the same.
It's like Rich is back up in Glasgow now as well, so that kind of further complicates matters. But we did manage to get like a couple of sessions with them, like in the past like few months before lockdown properly hit again. So yeah, this will be like a new way of working.
Well, let's all hope bands can meet up again and stop rehearsing, recording, and hopefully some shows. Because
that's
the big one. Because it's like, oh, we go to work. Yeah, we're going to go to a gig later. Oh wait.
Yeah, I mean, we've not even had a chance to play a gig since the last album came out, which hasn't been very good.
No.
So yeah, we'll just see what happens on that front, though. Like, not setting any kind of targets, just see what happens. To be honest.
We've pretty much just turned out to a booking agent just saying, look, just don't bother with booking anything at all, because there's really no point until there's absolute certainty that we can't actually do it, because otherwise people will just keep booking things and kicking the can down the road. Like it's just futile. Like people are just deluding themselves. Like I think that it's going to come back in a few months, because it just really isn't.
No.
Yeah, I think by the end of the year, if we're lucky, we might have maybe
that's my prediction as well.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, because last time I saw you guys perform live was the pre-show of FilmFest.
Yeah,
that was our last gig.
Yeah,
that's
roughly.
The last time I saw
ago.
you, and you were playing a lot of the new album as well, and from your debut as well, which I own both, which I will show later to whoever decides to watch this video. You don't have to, but yeah, it helps YouTubers out if you watch their videos.
Yes.
Well, it's like nah. I watch Twitch. Twitch is good. You find good things on Twitch.
It's all the same to me, to be honest. I don't.
It's like play video games. Go do live streams on Twitch. You do music stuff. Go to Twitch, because there's a lot of music stuff happening on there.
Yeah, I've seen that Colin from Witch Hazel. He's been doing like a regular Twitch thing recently. Like he mainly plays. He's been going through like the guitar parts and stuff like off the last Witch Hazel record that they put out last year.
Nice.
Surprised he's not got like a request to take down the music, even though he owns it. I've just seen lots of complaints along those lines.
Oh shit! Yeah, that happened with him and Lee, didn't it?
It's happened with loads of people. Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell!
It's just ridiculous, isn't it?
How stupid is that? Well, you mentioned him. I was going to mention Josh from Bloodshot Dawn, because he's been doing that as well.
Oh yeah.
He's been doing that, like talking music. I can't remember his name. He's from a well-known band. I can't remember the all now. There's a while back now. This was last year. Where it's like, oh, lockdown. We'll stay indoors. What are we gonna do?
Yeah, like
internet.
it's something for people to do now they've got the time, isn't it?
Yeah, because I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? No gigs. And then one of my guests, who I had last year, said, oh, why don't you interview bands on your channel? Why not?
Well, it's the time to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Not going to get like any other kind of ideal time to do something like this. So,
well, otherwise I'm just at home bored. So,
how a lot of things start.
Well, yeah, I got this. I got writing my own music as well. So, all in all, not too bad.
Yeah, it's been the same for me, to be honest. I've found enough stuff to pass the time with.
Yeah, I do this. I go for walks when I can. I mean, it started pissing it down when I was walking around. I was just like, oh, let's put on some Finnish death metal, or any sort of death metal. Put on Ghastly. I was like, you just had the rain, didn't you?
It's rained like eternally here the past week or so.
Yeah.
We had snow down here for a while, like not a while back, but recently here in Bristol, but it didn't settle. And I thought, I'm going to go for a walk in the snow.
That's always fun to do.
So I thought, put some music on, walk in the snow. Oh, I was going to settle. Look out the window. Oh, thanks.
Never does here either.
Bastards. I got friends in Sweden, and I've just seen like the roads and everything just covered in snow. It's like,
yeah. When we went to Finland, it snowed the whole time, and I remember when Solithus came over here to tour. It was in like April, and when Carrie got back to Finland, he sent us a picture, and it was snowing in April as well over there. So, yeah.
I remember it snowing here in March, in like 2018 or something. It's like it's spring and it's snowing, which is weird. But anyway, get off snow. Even though snow is lovely to talk about, just don't eat yellow snow.
Yeah.
Vice of the evening. What got you guys into this lovely music that we call metal? Where did it all begin?
I'll let you go first, Jamie.
Yep.
Oh yeah. So initially it was through a couple of friends in school. So this would have been like late 90s. So smack bang in the middle of the new metal era.
Same.
Yeah. Also at the time as well, like this is a bit of a naughty thing to admit to, but there was a lot of file sharing programs doing the rounds, like what were some of the ones I used?
Soulseek, maybe? I used Soulseek.
Yeah, so the Soulseek, WinMX, LimeWire, Kazaa, which like riddled your computer with a load of viruses. So yeah, it was like started off from, with trade CDs and stuff with each other at school. They will talk about sort of like bands that, oh, I've heard that these guys sound like these guys. You check them out online, you get like a few tracks, and it just sort of like built from there, really. And then, kind of like I continued when I met some more people when I went to sixth form college, who were into more quote unquote traditional true bands. Just sort of like continued from there. Then, just naturally was looking out for heavy and faster stuff, and eventually got into this wonderful genre called death metal.
Yeah, pretty similar for me, to be honest. Jamie's a couple of years older than me, but pretty much grew up in the same era, so it was new metal for me as well, which I absolutely loved at the time, just because it was only pop I'd heard before that. So even though it's quite commercial by today's standards, at the time when you're like 11 or something, you hear Slipknot and it's like the heaviest thing in the world.
Yeah.
And you just want a bit more of it. I think the band that got me like kind of bridged to like extreme metal was actually Children of Bodom, because I heard them when I was a similar age, and obviously they were a bit more flashy and the vocals were a bit kind of harsher. And then from there, I kind of just went into more and more kind of heavier stuff. So yeah, that's it really. And then just kept going.
Yeah.
And now I actually listen to way more mellower stuff, to be honest. So
I like how that was, you go from new metal, extreme, mellow.
Yeah.
Like,
but yeah, I like to listen to lots of like ambience and like, but dark ambience, not really mellow, but like stuff like that. Bit of jazz.
Yeah, that's all I listen to. I mean, you put a lot of bands put ambient sounds in there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like I think the band I must have listened to the most or something last year was like Pink Floyd. Like,
There's nothing wrong with Pink Floyd.
Yeah, I quite regularly just go down the rabbit hole with Floyd and just go on like massive binges, like fair few of their albums.
Yeah, I mean, we all listen to extreme music here, but we also listen to stuff that's not extreme. So it's like, oh, I'm done listening to death metal. What can I listen to? Pink Floyd.
I mean, you got to mix it up a bit. Like, yeah, it's like the playlist that we created for, when we're driving from city to city playing shows and stuff. There's a fair bit of metal in there, but like, I mean, there's all sorts of shit in there just to sort of break it up. Like, as an example, drummer Matthew, like, he fucking loves grime.
Fair enough.
I don't quite get it myself, but he really, really likes it. So there's a fair amount of grime stuff in. So, like, you should just have a good chuckle along with the lyrics because they're absolutely outrageous. But musically, just not my bag whatsoever. But there'll be stuff in there. Like, Lee listens to all sorts of ridiculous kind of like funk disco rave. Or,
no, that explains why he dances on the.
He gets his dancing from there, definitely.
So like it's like I said, like you got to mix things up a bit, otherwise, like the music you enjoy just starts to become a bit stale after a while. Like if you just listen to the same thing again.
If you're just listening to metal over and over again, you got
some people are perfectly fine and content with that, and that's fair enough.
There's days where I'm like that. I'll just listen to nothing but metal, and I'm like, I've got to listen to something else. Oh yeah, I like folk music. Put on some folk music. Wardruno, Highland, and
have you heard the new Wardruno album?
New Wardruno album, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, they're always good, aren't they?
Always good. I was meant to see him last year in June, and then I got postponed in Birmingham.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But this year it's supposed to be April, but I don't see it going ahead in April. It's going to be a little bit late.
No, I don't think it's going to be.
But new Wardruno album, pick it up. I know it's not metal, but I know I used to be in Golgoroth, so there you go.
Oh yeah, definitely got metal connections. But, it's good. Yeah,
metal connections there. So listen to Wardruno if you want to. You don't have to. You do not have to. But I'm just saying. Anyway, I'm going to shut up. Yeah, so I'm going to get onto the band here. Live Burial. What a name. First time I heard you guys was, I'm trying to think, it's probably soon after the first album came out, which I'll show in a minute. Where did the band name come from? Jamie?
I think it was just a name I thought of. My usual process when I come up with metal band names is like I check like, was MySpace like particularly active at the time? I can't remember. Like I would check that.
Metal Archives, you mean?
No, like I check everything just to make sure that it wasn't taken. But yeah, it was like I would check Metal Archives. I would check like sort of Facebook pages. Like I do search, I can, see if like anyone had a website or anything like that. And like much to my surprise, like I found that nobody out there seemed to have the name Live Burial, which I would have thought, you put in a band name and there's like 20 results or something in Metal Archives. I was flabbergasted to find out that like nobody taken it. So I was like, I'm fucking having that. Like so it was a case like I think I came up with the band name before I even thought about approaching anybody to do the band.
Well, it was good if no one had it before you did, or otherwise it would be awkward. Like, shit.
It's
plenty of bands still do it though, don't they? Like you see lots of bands. I mean, like Mayhem have to call themselves the True Mayhem, don't they?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, like even a band as big as that still have people calling the bands Mayhem. So
I mean, we could have the inevitable legal fallout and call ourselves like Live Burial of Fire or something like that.
Live Burial AD.
Yeah.
That. Yeah. There's a lot of bands putting like AD or BC or
Yeah.
Whatever at the end of it. Ghost had to do that for a while. I think Ghost had to do that, if I remember.
Just Library UK, like a shitload of new wave of British heavy metal bands.
Yeah.
Well, that's where I got my metal. That's why I started in metal, was all the new wave of British heavy metal and a lot of American bands as well. Like, of course, got into Metallica and Slayer and Pantera.
They were the first kind of proper metal bands I got into after like new metal. Yeah.
I was getting into the new metal around the same time as I heard Slipknot and the Biscuit and Korn, and I almost said Korn. There should be a band called Korn. And just suggestions, you don't have to take it. But yeah, Korn, not Korn, bloody hell. And I was like, "Ooh, what's this death metal? Cannibal Corpse. Let's check out Cannibal Corpse." Don't like it. After a while, I like it now.
I was the same with. Actually, when I first heard death metal, I kind of liked it straight away. It was black metal I hated, and then I kind of liked it after a few years. But,
yeah, it didn't take me long to get into death metal. I was like, "Here, Cannibal Corpse." Yeah, I'll come back to it. Oh, I like it now. Oh, what's this death metal? Oh, more death metal bands. Yes. Now I'm hooked. And well, now we know where the name came from because no one else had it. And we'll get to Rob. You didn't, because the band formed in 2012. You didn't come in until a year later.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so our friend Jake was the original guitarist who's in Plague Rider, which Lee and Matt are in as well, like tech death band. And he left because he wanted to focus on Plague Rider. I mean, we still get on really well with Jake. He's like a good friend to all of us and a bandmate to two other of members of Live Burial. But he left, and then Jamie just asked if I wanted to join, because me and Jamie used to play in a grindcore band together called Rat-Faced Bastard.
Yeah, I just had a look at that earlier.
So he just asked us, and I don't think I was really doing anything at the time, like music-wise, really. So yeah, it was an easy decision for us. Then ended up joining Plague Rider and Horrified as well. At the same time, it was too much for me, so I left both them to focus on Live Burial.
I was going to say, very busy. It's like, no, can't do the other bands. I'll just stick with this one.
Yeah, I did try it, but like when you're working full time and have like other commitments, it's quite hard to juggle three active bands. Like if one of them, when I initially joined, I think Horrified, it was more like a recording thing, but then I know they wanted to go more live, and I couldn't really commit to it, to be honest.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think Horrified's more live based now. I haven't seen them yet.
They certainly are more so than they used to be. I think it actually did start as like just a studio project.
Yeah,
most bands do.
Yeah,
but,
except for us, I think the intention for us is always to be quite live based.
Yeah, be live.
Yeah. So it's certainly what I wanted when I first had the idea. Pretty much anything I've wanted to work on, I think it's always like live acts kind of in mind.
I mean, if you can't play your songs well live, you're not going to record them well. So
yeah. That's true. You don't want to just be like, "Oh, cool, I'll play the songs." Well, shit, that's not recording that. Because you don't want that. Because if you did that and didn't, because you did. Well, speaking of Metal Archives, I thought let's get Metal Archives up anyway, because I'm gonna probably be like, "Fucking hell, when did the demo come out?" 2013.
It's useful. I mean, sometimes Jamie uses the lyrics on there, but we've not played a song in a while to remind himself. So yeah, it can be quite useful even for us.
What the? That's it. I'm like that. It's like, do a vocal cover. What can I do? I need the lyrics. Oh, that's right. I've been saying something different all these years.
I mean, that's probably not so far from the truth, to be perfectly honest.
It's like because I did that with my band Herbicidal, which is more on the stoner doom side, with a bit of death metal. There's lyrics in the last song, Vapor Slave. You could probably guess what that might be about, but you can pick whatever the hell you want it can be.
Yeah, I think John Toddy has managed to get away with it for all these years. Like, apparently his little book of lyrics or something, like, it's just incomprehensible nonsense. He just writes down like what he thinks sounds like cool as fuck. So he just writes it and sings it.
So,
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm a big fan of that approach. Just like, it's just, I don't give a fuck if this makes sense. Like, it just sounds cool.
I mean, like, look at Hell Patrol by Judas Priest. Just Rob Halper's just singing just words that sound cool together, but they're utter nonsense, and it's amazing.
Oh yeah.
I think that's how some of the best songs, some of the best lyrics come out in those songs. It's like,
lyrics need to have context and meaning. What nonsense is this?
What nonsense is this? We need context. But no, because you were speaking about John Tardy, and I was watching some mini death metal documentary I found on YouTube who came out in '91, and some fan went up to John because one of the members of Obituary said, one of the fans went up and said, "Oh man, I was singing all the lyrics to Cause of Death." It's like, I didn't even know what I was singing. Like, because if you look at it, I don't think there's a lot of lyrical shit on any of their albums.
No.
Like earlier albums anyway. Cause I think he just sang whatever came out of his mouth, and there you go, it's in there.
Yeah, very much. It works.
You know, it just works. So wing it at first, then you think, write down what I said there. And if you ever listen back to your vocals or whatever, you'll be like, what the fuck am I saying? I can't write this down.
Yeah, but I mean, really, I think particularly death metal vocals, it's more about the sounding feeling, in my opinion. I don't know if I'm just like trying to excuse myself like being a complete hack and a fraud, like when it comes to the writing stuff, but it's like, I think that's like the reason why like I tend to prefer vocalists like John Tardy and Martin Van Drunen, because it was more about the menacing type sound to the vocal styles, like rather than kind of like the lyrical content as such.
I agree. I mean, especially in stuff like this, it's like rare that you can make out all the lyrics anyway. So I mean, you usually have to like look them up to kind of see what's going on. I mean, some people like to do that, look at the context. I just care how it sounds. And like Jamie said, like if the vocals sound good, that's all that matters to me.
Yeah.
Unless like it's clean vocals and the lyrics are terrible, and then it's quite hard to get away with because you can't hear it.
Unless the lyrics are hilarious to listen to.
Yeah, all that. Yeah, if they're hilariously bad.
Yeah.
That's fine as well.
Yeah, that's all good. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because when I first heard you guys, it was obviously from the debut. Before we get to that, you had an EP called Just Live Burial.
Yeah.
From 2014. And I'm trying to think if half of the songs on there were on the debut, but I might be wrong on that.
No.
Yeah, I got Falls one.
We had 2 songs from the demo featuring the EP, but the debut album was entirely new material.
Yeah. And speaking of that album, here it is.
Yeah.
That's from the past.
Life. And the cover is very Reanimator based.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we told the artist.
When I was having a crack on with Luke Oram, the artist, like that was pretty much the pretty much the prime thing that like kind of like wanted to focus ideas on. So it's what the title track's like kind of inspired by.
I'll get the book out.
So that was definitely the idea behind it.
Yeah, and because this is obviously the first album I heard, and the song I heard was actually, the track Forced Back to Life, which starts off slow.
Yeah.
And then it picks up because you hear the guitars and that, and all of a sudden we hear your gut-wrenching screams and shouting and whatnot. And
I'm like, I don't know, like whenever I like listen back to that now, like I'm actually quite surprised just like how high sounding I am.
Yeah.
I don't know, they're kind of more like black metal shrieks at times. Like it's just I don't know, like I don't know what happened like on the day for me to sound like that, but
just like
I'm not sounding like that like ever since, so kind of like before, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was very weird at the time.
Yeah.
It's like, what sort of vocals is he going to do? What the fuck?
Yeah, supposed to be.
And we got a nice little picture of you all
in the pub.
In a pub.
Yeah.
How standard is that?
We just thought we'd do something a bit different with that, to be honest.
Yeah. That was Cumberland Arms, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, top of the bank new spin.
Yeah, it's a good pub.
See, artwork's on the CD as well. What more do you want from that? How long did this take to record then? Because, you're the more guitar guy, Rob. So.
That album, actually, we rushed quite a lot, to be honest. We hadn't really entered the studio properly prior to that, and we vastly underestimated how much time we'd need. So I think we recorded that in, was it 2 weekends, Jamie?
It was either that, it was like a long weekend.
Yeah, it wasn't long at all for us.
No, it wasn't.
I mean, for the new album, which I'm sure we'll get to later, I'll go in more depth of that. But we spent easily twice as long recording that as we did on the debut.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just kind of were excited to be in the studio, and exactly that. And we didn't use a click or anything for that. We just did scratch tracks of drums and then tried to play over them, which is really hard at times. Just because of like when the riffs came in and things like that. But yeah, it was pretty quick. I think particularly for Jamie and Lee, I think you guys did your takes really like quick. And Lee's ridiculously efficient at recording. He was absolutely hammered and he like just did it fine. He actually made a mistake on the title track, which we liked so much we kept.
I'm trying to think.
He does like a little slide.
That
bass.
That
bit. Which sounds really cool, but he just I think he was just quite drunk and came up with it, and we really liked it, so we kept it. But yeah, in terms of recording,
people know what that's in there.
In terms of recording guitars, we just, like I said, we didn't do a click. We just played over the scratch tracks. We just did single rhythm tracks, both each me and Richard in this one, which we didn't do on the new album. We double tracked each one, which is why the new one sounds a bit thicker. But I mean, considering how little time we use, relatively happy with it.
Yeah, well, it does, like you said, you rushed it. It does sound like it was a bit rushed, but you know what? I don't mind that. It's still a great album.
It definitely sounds more live, I think, than the new one.
More live,
yeah.
Richard's the other guitar player. Who does more of the solos? Is it you or is it him? Because I've seen you do solos live.
We both do leads. I do a few more, I think. I think in terms of actual guitar solos, we probably do about the same, but I do more kind of like lead parts, like over like the riffs. But yeah, we both do. And we both got a different style of lead playing, which is good, I think, because means when we are doing like a solo swap, you can kind of tell that it's two different guitarists playing it. So I like to do like tapping, and Richard likes to do like, dive bomb stuff. So it's got like a nice blend of styles. Yeah,
definitely. Just thinking about that now. Yeah, it's different ways of doing solos, and obviously it's Matthew on the drums, who's just fucking relentless on them. Absolutely relentless on them.
Yeah, we've heard him.
Sorry, you carry on. We'll get on to
I was saying we've heard him compared to Flo from Cryptopsy quite a lot before, and I can see the comparison.
Yeah.
Like he's
definitely
just a beast.
Definitely. He's a beast on drums, and Matthew as well. Yeah, definitely. He can do like this slow tempo parts, like at the start of the title track, and then go into blast beats like without even breaking his sweat by what I can probably tell.
Yeah, he pulls some incredible gun faces though, like in practice, like whenever he's playing fast. So it's always very, very amusing to see.
Yeah, he's got this little
Sorry,
I was saying he's got like his jazz kind of influence in his drums as well.
Yeah, definitely very jazzy with his style of drumming. But then you got bands like Atheist who people would call jazz fusion death metal, because a lot of their stuff sounds very jazzy in places.
Yeah, and Matt and Lee are both really into that kind of thing, which I think kind of shows with how they play.
Oh yeah, definitely. And yeah, what if anyone did see these guys live when we could still go to gigs? You can tell how heavy and how much of a stage presence you guys have. What were the first gigs like for the band? Like either before the album or after?
I'll leave that to you, Jamie.
Yeah. So the first gig that we did was with Australian death metal actor Vomiter, and
I think I know, yeah.
That ended up being like a massive kick up the arse for us. So the guy who put it on, he's actually our booking agent, and I just remember chatting, and you mentioned that. Oh yeah, I've got Vomiter playing. I'd like to put a bill together, but I don't know who to get it open. And I mentioned that. Well, I'm looking to get a death metal band together. So if I get if I get something going, can we open? He's like, yeah, sure. And this was months prior to the gig, and then eventually get like a workable lineup together. We started jamming and stuff. And this was like 2 months before the gig. So I get back in touch with this guy and say, oh yeah, so I've got this death metal band together. So why don't you why don't you announce it? He says like, yeah, sure, brilliant. So he says like, yeah, live burial, like a brand new band, like about to open up. And I think it was Richard who got in touch with me. Like he was absolutely shitting bricks because he was like, Jamie, are we played a show in 2 months? He's like, yeah. Like, did I not tell you about this? Like, no, you didn't. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it did, but okay, well, yeah, we're doing this. It's like, yeah, but we don't have any material. It's like, well, we've got half a song. and it kind of like, we had like 2 months basically to come up with a set, and that was the material that would become the demo tape. But yeah, like I was actually quite impressed, like how we just managed to knuckle down like in 2 months, grind out a set, and like the stuff like was not total shit either, which I was also like absolutely mystified by. But that gig ended up being like a bit of a trial by fire, to be honest. But no, like it was an incredibly promising start because we did that, and we ended up actually playing like quite a few places like kind of north of England and Scotland, just off the back of that first gig.
Nice.
Yeah, we just got just cracking straight on with this because like we see like other sort of bands in the area who just that they just play like the same couple of places, like a couple of times a month in Newcastle. It's like we just weren't really interested in doing that. Like wanting to try and get ourselves out there. But the gigs, like they started out being quite sort of rough and tumble sort of affairs, and then gradually managed to get ourselves some of the bigger and better shows, and I think we'll get ourselves on some pretty decent bills like nowadays. So it's only took 8 years.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like 8 years. Like even when you hear 2013, it's hard to comprehend. That's nearly a decade ago now.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like we've been doing the band that long, but we have. So,
well, there you go. You've been doing it that long, and you've already got 2 albums out. So that's a big accomplishment, I have to say.
And hopefully a third one.
Hopefully a third one.
Yeah, I mean it's written. It's completely written.
Well,
but it's not rehearsed at all.
You just got to record it.
Yeah, rehearse it and record it.
Rehearse it, record it, get it mixed and mastered, and then get it out. And then we'll have 3
exactly
albums.
Itching to get on it as well, like because really like it.
Well, as a fan, I'm looking forward.
I'm glad you are.
Because, like I said, I love the band. Love death metal, and obviously influences range from bloody Asphyx, like I gotta say there's some Asphyx in there, Autopsy, Bolt Thrower, There's countless bands like that, like very old school bands you mixed into there. Is there any separate influences that are in this band from any of you?
I think initially it kind of started with all those bands that you mentioned. I think it has changed a little bit in recent years. This third album, me and Lee wrote most of it, just online, sending it to each other. And it's like got a bit more black metal influence, got a bit more doom in as well. And kind of like it's got like some like counterpointy kind of like really early at the gates riffs in it as well. So like when Alf Svensson was writing all the songs, it's got a bit of that feel, some of it. Also some of like the more kind of obscure, heavier melodic bands from Sweden, like Gormand.
I know Gormand. Yeah, great band.
So like just stuff like that. Like I've been listening to that loads when I've been listening to death metal. And I think some of that's probably rubbed off on the new material.
Yeah, definitely got a lot of that from the first time. Like, because I got the sticker, it said if you like bands like Autopsy, Asphyx, Boltthrower, and early Paradise Lost, it said on there.
Yeah, I mean, I've never really got that comparison with us. I mean, I really like early Paradise Lost, but I don't think we sound anything like it.
No, you sound nothing like them. I'm probably just thinking maybe the start of the title track, I don't know, because it starts off quite not too slow, but
yeah, I'd say the second album sounds more in that vein than the first because it's a lot slower in parts.
And speaking of that album, I have it, and it's one of the last albums I heard at the end of the year because I thought, I was thinking, I've already heard some songs from it. I need the fucking album, and there it is.
Good choice.
Unending Fertility. Look at that cover. That is just haunting.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah, I really like the art for it.
The logo sticks out. It's like.
Yeah, we decided to work with Luke Oram again, and
there's no glare.
I'm just trying to think that this one was definitely post Sludge, which he's got like a lot of fanfare for the artwork he created for those guys. Just trying to think of like Force Back Life was actually pre that artwork, but it's like
different sort of band picture.
Yeah,
that's an Lindisfarne.
That's awesome. So
one of the benefits of living up north, we're not far from scenic views.
Yeah,
you get nice locations like that. Well, as soon as I got the Digipack one,
it was fucking freezing though that photo shoot.
Fuck was that photo?
Really freezing my bleed balls off.
Yeah, and I didn't bring a jacket, as you can see in the picture. So it was really cold, and it's an island, like technically, so like it's right by the sea, so it was freezing.
Yeah. Well, by the sea, it's going to be freezing.
Yeah,
that lovely North Sea wind.
But surprisingly, when I was in Cornwall for a mate's wedding, this is way down south, I thought, by the sea, it's going to be nice and cool. No, it's bastard warm.
Yeah, that's a south though.
Plus, I was wearing a suit.
Yeah.
That made it worse. We spoke about Kari earlier. He does guest vocals on one of the songs.
Yeah. Does a bit of vocals in the middle section of the last track, Cemetery Fog,
which is a belter. All the tracks in it are great. My favourite one, obviously, is Swing of the Pendulum, just how it starts off. Again, it's got the guitars and your vocals just come and it's like, fucking hell.
Yeah, it's personally one of my favourites off the record. Just quite like a lot of the sort of like galloping sort of riffs and sort of stuff like that.
Yeah, because I mean, as much as I love this one, I love this one a hell of a lot more.
We're a lot happier with that one.
Yeah.
It shows in the album how everything was just done. The vocals were done really well. Guitars, the bass, the drums, and the overall production as well. The artwork is brilliant.
It was kind of before the recording sessions felt like we're kind of I think we spent like one rehearsal session where like we just didn't really play anything, to be honest. Like we're just like, it was all the five of us with whiteboard and a marker, and we just went through literally everything, like what we thought went well, what we thought would need improving. The things that needed improving was a considerably longer list. But we're certainly a hell of a lot more prepared for this one. We did like a lot more pre-production work before going to the studio to record this one, and then also like we were actually in constant contact with Dan Mullins, who mixed and mastered the records kind of like way before the recording sessions, just to sort of get an idea like what he needed, what he expected, kind of getting any sort of like tips from him, just so that like he had like the best possible recordings out of First Half Studios to work with. Awesome. And I think as a product, like this one's like a lot more complete than the previous work.
Yeah, like I said, definitely shows on the album. And speaking of this album, it's with because this one it's with a different label, but this one, how'd you join these guys? Transcending Obscurity.
So going
Great
back
label,
to,
by the way, people.
Going back to our friend Carrie, who's also in Sepulchral Curse, who already signed a Transcending. And Carrie just sent me a message being like, do you guys have a label for your next album? And we're like, we've not thought about it yet. And he's like, just because Kuno, the label owners, expressed interest. I think you must have seen that we were friends with Carrie and like we toured together. So then we just sent a message just being like, we hear you might be interested in putting out an album. Here's some songs that are going to be on it. And then, just done deal pretty much straight away.
Because you're friends with Carrie, obviously. And when I first saw Solifers, actually, was Radication Fest 2017, because he played that as well.
Yeah, we're on tour together.
Yeah, and I saw that, I thought, wow, these guys are awesome. I got their not their first album, their second album.
Yeah, no King Reigns Eternal, is it? It's a really good album.
Yeah, I don't know whether and how to get their first one. I don't think he knows how to get it anymore.
Yeah,
seems to be sold out everywhere. But I also got them new album, Realm of Ash and Blood, which is fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's really good. I've got the LP for that one. I mean, they're a really good band. They're really good live too, as you're aware, having seen them.
Yeah, they're great guys to hang out with as well.
Yeah, I was talking to Corey a lot at FilmFest because I told him, I saw you at Eradication Fest, but I said 2016, not 2017. I got my dates and years mixed up. Then I just thought, I'm going to add him as a friend on Facebook, and he accepted it literally on the same.
Oh yeah, I mean, Carrie's one of the friendliest people in the scene by far.
Awesome.
I can't think of anyone who wouldn't like him.
I'll be surprised if someone said, I don't like him. Well,
yeah,
you suck. Because he's one of the nicest people I've met. There's a lot of people I've met who are really nice. He's just one of many.
Yeah, he's a cool guy, and like I said, a good friend of ours, and he's been very helpful to the band as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, getting you on Transcending Obscurity was saying, just give them a bell, see what happens.
Taking us over to Finland as well.
And take you over to Finland as well, which I still haven't been to, but I've been to Denmark and Sweden so far.
Finland's a really cool country, yeah. I mean, if you like forests, snow, and lakes, which I do, then it's perfect because that is a lot of what it is.
I love all those things. Yeah. Forest, snow, lakes, and a lot of Viking history stuff, things like that. Definitely, I'll just be like, I'm geeking out. And obviously, we saw Solifers at FilmFest because you played the pre-show last gig you did. Yeah. How did that set go for you guys? Because I thought it went really well.
We weren't a fan of it.
Oh, well, I thought it was all right from where I was.
Yeah, which we always recognise that's the important thing, but
it's fine.
I can't even recall it now, but I certainly recall that you were sort of chatting about it afterwards, and we thought there was a few things that went wrong. But ultimately, if it wasn't kind of like picked up off stage, then
I couldn't really see anything wrong.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Like,
I just remember it just something was kind of missing, which sometimes it does.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's only a few gigs we've done where like we've all been like really happy. But yeah, that's just one of the things but we probably notice that a lot of people don't pick up on just because of how we want to come across. Don't know, it's hard to explain. Sometimes just doesn't feel like the energy's there compared to other times.
Well, you got the energy from the crowd because there's a lot of people like head banging and
the gig itself was
going.
I mean the crowds are like pretty much always really good, to be honest. I can't really think of any shows off the top of my head. Even shows where the attendance hasn't been great, they're usually the more enthusiastic, I find. But yeah, like the crowd's always really good, which does help.
Well, yeah, because you didn't have a crowd that was, and people just stand there, because you get people who just stand there and
not even that sometimes not even the nod. Yeah, it's this.
I'm sometimes like that if there's a band like not too sure about, but if there's a band like okay, kind of sure. Oh shit, these guys had to do something. Bang your head. Oh my fucking neck. No, I'm just trying to think if anything happened on stage, like guitars cut out or mic went out or.
Yeah, I don't think there was any technical errors. I just think
I didn't know there was any technical problems. I think you just. I don't know if any of you guys were just knackered or you just weren't feeling it that night or what.
I think we drove down on the same day.
Yeah.
So there is a good chance that a few of us are a bit tired. It's about a 6-hour drive.
Yeah, it's probably what you're all just tired and traveling. That's all involved in the life of a band. You do a lot of traveling, and then you're either traveling on the same day as the gig you're playing, or hopefully one day you might be lucky you're not going to be playing on the day you're traveling down.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever happened, to be honest. I think it's usually...
I don't think it happens to any band.
Yeah, I don't think so. Unless you're a really big band and can afford to have like a day off.
It's like, give you a couple of days off and then you play the third day. Fine. For bands such as yourself and my band I mentioned earlier and other bands that I like, it's like, as soon as you get there, got a certain amount of hours, go get food, blah, 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 set your stuff up on stage and then play the gig straight away. Fuck.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, we'd never really have any time to explore. Like, we get there, we'll check in with wherever we're staying, whether that's a friend or like an apartment or something. And then it's straight at the venue, load in, soundtrack, wait, play,
sell merch once the night's over, maybe get drunk.
Yeah, not for Jamie though, because he's designated driver.
No.
God damn it, Jamie.
Designated dickhead.
Designated dickhead. All right. He's not designated driver. He's like, who's our designated dickhead? Me.
I remember a gig we did in Glasgow. It was for Black Metal Brewery, and
they do.
The band's like basically got like as much beer as they wanted, but it was only me who was able to drink that night, because I think Lee was ill, so he was on antibiotics. Jamie, Matt, and Richard were all driving because I think Richard was staying in Scotland, and this was when we hit before the vans. We had 2 cars, so I just drank it all. And it was a great gig for me, but maybe less so for the rest of the guys.
No one else was drinking. Yeah. Lee was ill. Jamie and the other guys were driving. So I was like, well, sorry, liver.
Yeah.
But it happens. It happens. Oh, fuck off, Facebook. You get messages from people. Is there any bands, like I was going to ask this, is there any bands that you would like to like either tour with or just do like a few shows with once lockdown is ended? Any bands you have in mind, even the bands that I mentioned earlier, like that influence your music?
Well, we're meant to do the last band that we brought over to the UK to tour with was Skeletal from France. We're meant to do some dates in the mainland with them.
That's brilliant.
Like we couldn't really make the dates work, and then like COVID then hit, which just killed all plans. And then Brexit's probably also shut on any kind of like plans like that as well. But we'll have to see. Just always like would like to share the stage with Slothus again, Sepulchral Curse. Like I'd like to try and get something sorted with the Eternal Storm guys, because I know you're quite pally with Dan, Rob.
Yeah, Dan's a really cool guy. He reminds me a bit of Carrie, with just being really friendly and just very likable. They're also on our label as well, so that'd be cool if like we could do a tour. I think out of like the bands on our label, I'd quite like to tour with them. Even though we sound very different.
Completely different. Like they've got some like mad saxophone bits in like their record, which I don't think would really work for us, but you never know.
I don't think there's anything wrong when the bands are a little bit different, to be honest. Like if you have a tour package of 2 bands that are basically identical, then could be a bit stale, to be honest. So I think a similar-ish band is probably the best way to go.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say like we've got like a bucket list or anything like that. Like, which it's it's just the case. Like, if we think like the other band's going to be a good fit, and we're going to have like a laugh with them for like a few days or a week or several weeks or whatever, then
we'll tours.
Yeah, we'll be up for it.
What, for example, would you like to play with Asphyx?
We've already played with Asphyx.
You've done that. Oh, nice.
Yeah, they were
Glasgow
really
2017.
Oh, brilliant! Would you like to play with them again? Just to refresh, just to answer.
Yeah, of course.
That'd be cool. Oh, wow. We should have seen that now.
Yeah, it was a good gig.
It was.
Still haven't seen Asphyx. Still haven't seen them live.
They're really good. They're very good.
Which sucks for me because I love Asphyx. But I've seen Bolt Throw, but that was only 1 year. That's 2014, which okay, that's fine. But I would like to have seen it more times than that. But trying to think of other bands you might be suited to. Well, I'm looking at a poster. There's Skeletal Remains. Do you like those guys?
Yeah, we were meant to play with them last year as well.
You already played with them?
It was going to be May, wasn't it? Like a Temple of Boom.
But then COVID happened. Yeah, it was Temple of Boom with them and Cryptic Shift.
Sweet.
But it obviously didn't happen because COVID happened.
See, that's the most common thing we have. COVID. It ruins things. We can't see mates. We can't hug our mates. We can't meet in pubs. Massive bellend. That's what Cole said. Oh my god, I got things stuck here. Would you like to play with this band? Massacre.
I was never really that into them, to be honest. I mean, I'm not saying they're bad or anything because I'm not. But it just, they weren't a band that particularly struck with me when I was like
getting into the older death metal bands. The old school stuff, like they just never really grabbed me personally.
Oh, fair enough. I'm trying to think of other bands. I'll think about bands, but I'm thinking when I first saw you guys play was at the Griffin in Bristol.
Griffin saw us fun to play.
Because I saw you the first time, which was like 20. Was that 2017? I might be wrong. First time around, it might have been 2016. I'm trying to think. I didn't film it. I filmed 1 year sets.
Yeah.
You stayed at my mate Annie L's place afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We often stay there, to be honest.
She does that with a lot of bands. She puts them up. Like she asked me, "Oh, do you want to stay over?" It's like, fuck it.
Yeah, it's a big place. Like it's great for like bands like that. Is it like the living room? That's just
it's the living room. It has a laptop, speakers, and that's why I looked at Lee's iPod and just looked at what music he had. He had everything from death metal to Pink Floyd and whatever. It's like, wow, very diverse.
Lee likes everything. Like he likes a lot of different styles,
which is great. I mean, you can mix those bands within your own music, and I don't mean make it sound exactly like Pink Floyd, because that's just a death metal version of Pink Floyd. Now that would just be weird.
I'd say weird, that Chapel of Disease album's quite a death metal Pink Floyd. And like the Swevin album, like a few bands have tried to go down that route.
It's like, we're death metal, but let's be like Pink Floyd. How's that gonna work? Don't know. Let's try it. Or like Emerson, Lake and Palmer is probably a band death metal band trying to sound like them right now. Yeah, it happens. You mix all the different styles together, and all of a sudden you get one band that sounds just really, really strange. You ever came across bands like that?
They'll go for it.
Yeah, they'll go for it. Just trying to think of another band actually. Do you know Undergang?
Yeah.
They're more cavernous death metal, as most people have been saying. Cavernous death metal. I don't know. It's supposed to be darker sounding, but then it's just death metal. The vocals are just on there are really like Demi-Lick-esque. If you listen to it, the vocals, not the music, the vocals. Very like what's his name? Anti Bowman. Very like that. And trying to think about other bands that before I ask about where you can get merch from, I'm just thinking of other bands you can possibly play with. Because half of them were at FinFest. Like Ripikulu, for example.
Yeah.
FinFest lineup was great. Like I enjoyed pretty much every.
What was your experience like? Because I loved every minute of it. I loved every minute of it. There might have been some bits where I was like, I slipped at the train station on the first night. I was like, oof, motherfucker. So that's the only bad thing. It was afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was really good. It was one of the best lineups for me personally that I've attended.
It was also
I
just
finished death metal.
Yeah, it was just like a really cool idea as well. And also like I just remember like the evolution of the lineup as well. I think initially it was just going to be an all day. Then interest in it was just like astronomical, like for Sublime Terror, who put on the weekend. And yeah, it was just a bit inevitable that they then added the Sunday and then the pre-show, and just a truly excellent weekend, and certainly the type of thing that I'd love to see come back once hopefully everything COVID related calms down.
Yeah, because they were supposed to do that with the Swedish one that they got coming. That's been moved to next year now. Which I was looking forward to this year because I was like, get everything booked. Oh, it's been moved. Damn it.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. But yeah, I really enjoyed FilmFest because there's quite a few bands I didn't even know. Like, one of them was Crips. Didn't know I checked them out and I was just like, fucking hell, these guys are heavy.
Yeah, huge fan of Crips. Been following them like since the first album because it's just utter filth. Like, it's just so heavy, but it's also really catchy.
It's pure filth.
It's just really good. I'd still say I like the first album the most, but I do really like the other two as well.
Oh yeah, Crips are brilliant. And then there's another band on other bands that I was like, Galvanizer. I really enjoyed them.
Yeah, they were really good. Like they opened up one of the, I can't remember if it was the Saturday or the Sunday, but like just remember one of the days I was a bit hungover, and they were like one of the first acts I remember watching, and like they just completely blew out the cobwebs and just got me primed and ready for like the day ahead.
Yeah, I think they were first. They were the first or second one of the days, and they were just so energetic. It was like the perfect opener band, really, wasn't it?
Yeah. They were like the opening band on the second day, but it was the last day. But
Yeah, I think it's like a hell of a thing to be the opening act, and you're opening like a day of like where the lineup's like really 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 good, and you make like such like an impact with your set. Like it's a very challenging thing to be opening act to like kind of a bill like that, and still kind of like wow, have that wow factor that lasts for the entire day.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people that were just waking up or they were hungover, they just gone to the pub across the road, got breakfast or whatever, and all of a sudden you just hear this these three guys. There's like three long-haired guys. I think everyone there had long hair. Some short hairs, but all of them had long hair. Just blasting this aggressive music. Well, death metal. It's all aggressive. What am I talking about? I'm being stupid. But yeah, just opening that day, and all of a sudden it's just like, wow, I'm buying their CD. I was like, buy Sanguine Vigil, done.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought a bunch of patches and the FilmFest t-shirt, which I would show, but it's in my t-shirt pile and I can't be bothered to move.
Yeah, the artwork for that was outrageous. Well, what was it? It was a fucking elk with a bazooka. Yeah. Like, I absolutely pissed myself, like, laughing when...
I wanted it while I was before that.
Yeah, I just saw it and I was just like, fucking hell. Like, this
is getting out with a
amazing.
bazooka. Let's do that. It's like, boom. And obviously it's got the bands on the back, and it's like...
Yeah.
Of course, you need the bands on the back, and it probably like, who the fuck played again? Yeah. So, did we see did we see Convulse? Hang on. Yeah, we did. Which played all World Without God, which is an absolute classic. I haven't heard the new album.
Yeah, it's very different.
Very different from what they did back in 91, obviously. I think they got a bit more progressive death metal sort of stuff now. I'm not entirely sure. With Convulse.
It's kind of like death and roll at times.
Death and roll.
Mm.
I'm reading the Rotten Race to Misery book about
Oh yeah, I saw you to pick that up.
Yeah, it's really good read so far. I've gone past which chapter have I done?
It's supposed to be very good, and Carrie's of Slothus and Subsequency.
Yeah, he's in there. Yeah, he's in there. I just
he contributed some pieces for it.
Yeah, he was talking about like the bands and stuff. And I just saw his name. I thought, got to take a picture of that and send it to him. There we go.
It all comes back to Carrie. Like he's just the epicenter of everything.
Yeah, I just
saw
this
lovely one lovely man from Finland.
One lovely man from Finland, and there's a bunch of people in there as well. Dave Rotten from Of Ulster's in there because he has extreme music and a lot of Finnish bands on that label.
Mm.
So he's really into the Finnish death metal scene because he talked about when he went there back in the 90s and met all these different musicians and everything. I was like, shit, he got around. And then, because he had a label before that, I think it was like, what was it? Drowned Productions, I think it's called. That was his old label. And then he did it, now he's got this label. So there you go. A man who's in a death metal band releasing death metal. That's important because if you didn't have people like that releasing death metal from outside of the UK or the US or whatever, you might not know very many new bands. And I like a lot of this Finnish stuff because in a lot of ways it sounds dark.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. There's kind of like a certain like. I don't quite know what the right word for it, but very sort of like darker in tone, like
dark tone.
Just
I was only saying dark because of the tone of the music.
Yeah,
it's definitely got its own sound. Like you can tell when a band's Finnish usually.
Yeah, because of the. Well, you can tell when like with the not Finnish bands, Swedish bands, a lot of them, not all of them.
Yeah.
Have these
losing HM2.
HM2, they use that.
Yeah.
That's when you can determine, like, okay, that's a band from Sweden, be it Stockholm or somewhere near Stockholm. Not all of them used it, but there are those like use it. And even some American bands, UK bands, Dutch band, a German band use HM2 pedals in their music. Can't think of the bands at the moment, but
it's very, very popular at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, I got one. Because I thought I need it. I need it for my music. Done. Because I'm going to do two bands. One's just be pure death metal, and I got a Death Doom project, and just call it a project because I'm still trying to sort it out. Which is going to sound more like a lot of Finnish bands, really. Because a lot of it sounds doomy if you listen to it. Because I heard because on my walk I was listening to Abhorrence. which was trying to remember the guitarist's name. He's in Amorphis, one of the only original members left. That's his other band. You listen to that, it's just like this is so heavy. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so heavy. I love it. And Ripikulu again, very heavy death doom. Even though they started out as a punk band, if you do your research, have a look on Google and Metal Archives, said started as a punk band.
Well, yeah, there's quite a few bands like kind of that came out like the hardcore punk scene or something like back in the day, then kind of like jumped into death metal. Like Bolthrower, for instance, I think like one of the more notable examples of that happening.
Like hardcore punk.
I mean, in Battle, there's like quite a few grindcore type bits.
Yeah,
that's kind of like a leftover from that, I think.
Yeah. Well, it's like if you listen to the like the first like BBC sessions that they did. I think they had what's the fellow's name? I think a guy called Alan West. I'm tempted to say on vocals.
Yeah, that's who they had before Carl came in.
Yeah. Like they're pretty much like raging hardcore punk vocals, and it sounds very different. But like those like BBC sessions were like really, really, really good to listen to. But
oh yeah, I got those. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Just like just interesting to see like, sort of like guys who are into that sort of stuff, like back in the day made the jump into death metal, like just kind of like resulted in some like really, really, really horrible, nasty, offensive sounding music.
That will offend not the likes of us, because we love it. Those outside of it will be like this. Why is he singing about zombies? Why is he singing about witches? Why are they singing about, I don't know, war? Because that's what they're interested in. That's Bolthrower, for example. A lot of their lyrics are war-based, even if it's war that's happened in history, or with Realm of Chaos, Warhammer.
Yeah.
Which, if you go to Warhammer shops, you won't see a poster, which is surprising, because Games Workshop approached them about saying, "Oh, can you use one of our artwork for an album?" Yeah, that's where Realm of Chaos came from. And it
looks really cool.
That's really cool. Yeah, I love it. And my brother's a Warhammer guy, so I showed him bits of the album, and he looked at the lyrics and pointed out everything with Warhammer. He's like, "Oh, cool." I just listened to it because it's death metal and it's awesome. Warhammer I used to like, not very much these days, but yeah. And I want to ask you about the last band on the last day of FilmFest, Skepticism. What did you think about them?
I really, really like. I don't know what I quite thought of that performance, but as a band, I really like them. Like Stormcrow Fleet, their first album, it's like one of the first Funeral Doom albums. Like absolutely legendary album. Yeah, but I think live, like, I don't know, like the sound, like on the guitar, just wasn't very good. Especially when he's doing like the kind of lead parts. But I do like the band. I'm a big fan of the band. It's just I was a little bit disappointed by the actual performance.
Yeah, I never heard
it was very strange.
I never heard of him until that point.
I personally found it fucking hilarious, to be honest. Like the front man, like handing out roses to the entire crowd. Like, yeah, it's like I have to confess, like going into FinFest, I didn't really know who Skepticism. Like, well, I'm not really like a Funeral Doom guy.
No, I didn't know they were.
So yeah, like there was a guy who I was catching up with. He was the guy who booked us to play Glasgow, I think, like a fair few years ago. And he was sort of saying like, Skepticism and their live sets. They've got like loads of bouquets of flowers, and like they hand them out to the crowd and stuff. And I thought this fellow was taking the piss. Like you say, pull my leg, and he's just like, no, it's real. And then so the guy like cradled the bloody bouquet of flowers like a baby, like the entire set, and I was like, what the fuck am I watching?
I think he often emerged he used to like emerge himself from like a coffin as well at the start as well. So like they go full on like with the theatrics and stuff.
They're doing like fucking wedding suits or something as well.
It's like old like Victorian sort of clothing. You know?
Yeah.
Or it might have been Edwardian. I'm not too sure. But
what I certainly say, like it was certainly very memorable performance. So yeah, I was entertained. I think I found it a bit too outrageous for my tastes, but
yeah, because I had to get, because I was leaving Bristol leaving London to get back to Bristol. That's straight after the show. I was just near the barrier on the ramp by the door, just like, I know I'm watching a metal band, but I'm also watching a theatre performance.
Yeah, they do go kind of full on.
Not dissing them or anything. I just thought this is just fucking weird. Even though it's weird as shit, but there you go.
Yeah, I mean, like that whole scene's quite weird. Like the Thurgathon album, like it's the other big Funeral Doom album, and it's also, I really like it, but again, it's a very strange album.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very strange genre, to be honest.
Yeah, Funeral Doom's just, again, yeah, like you just said, strange, weird.
Yeah, I do like it though.
I like it because I got the first Skepticism album. I actually got it for Christmas because I thought I need some skepticism. I need to start, so let me start with the first album.
Yeah, they reissued it last year, the year before, with like a completely new mix. I got the vinyl mix for it because I think it was the first proper vinyl mix it had, and it sounds way better.
Nice. Yeah, I was watching a Skepticism documentary here on YouTube, and one of the members said as soon as they did the album, they had a copy and buried it in the woods somewhere.
I can definitely picture that.
I was just like, and they were saying, "Oh, it belongs to the woods because it was, I don't know, something to do with the atmosphere of their music."
Yeah.
And I thought,
I think every band's had a conversation or something like that, like along those lines. I'm pretty sure we had some ridiculous idea where we were going to bury something like in the woods or whatever, and it just got to the point where just like, nah, let's not do that.
No, let's just get drunk. But no, they buried the first album. I mean, obviously they had copies to sell to people, but a mix that they did for themselves. I've got to watch the documentary again. I might be just saying random shit here, but they just buried a copy of it in the woods where they had their photo sessions done. And
that's going to be one very, very confused archaeologist in the future.
They just like this. What?
Yeah,
I discovered some fine piece. If that was like this.
Yeah, just dig up some random skepticism record in the woods or something like several hundred years
What is this?
now.
I don't get it. So I'm like this. Oh, it's the first Skepticism album. Who the hell's that?
They'll be even more confused if they listen to it.
So, who the hell's that? I'll put it on.
Yeah.
What the fuck? What is this? I don't get it. I was looking for bones. Well, you found that album, so deal with it. That's all I got to say about that. But yeah, burying that album in the woods. If you want to do that, people, I'm not going to judge, because I'm not judging Skepticism for doing it. But watching this set at FilmFest was something else. But overall, love the band and I love the music. And that's all I've got to say about that. And I'm still looking at King Diamond. He's looks like he's having fun behind Jamie. And I don't know if that's King Diamond as is like the King, like when he did his solo project, or that's Merciful Fate.
No, it's the King Diamond band.
Oh, King Diamond band's not Merciful Fate.
It's like immediately to my left is Mickey D.
I can only see his hair because you're in front of him.
Is that not Mickey D like standing right in front of the King? It looks like him. The guy who's like literally stood right next to Snowy Shaw.
Snowy Shaw was Mickey D's replacement.
All right, like.
Oh, whoever it is.
Hang on.
Wait a minute. Here we go.
There we go. I'm pretty sure I'm right in front of Mickey D now.
We don't know. If you are, you are. But yeah, overall, I love FilmFest. That was like the only festival I did. Well, count it as a festival. Might as well. It was only 2 days, but still, it's the only one I can say I did. But it was indoors because if we were doing a camping version of that, geez, and it was pissing down and rain. It's like in
Oh yeah, the
February,
weather
there's all
was
camp.
fucking dreadful.
There's all camp in the woods in February. Yeah, you could piss off. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, not a great idea.
But no, venue had it in the garage. Never been there before. Nor Nambuka. Never went there before until that day. And nice venue. It's like, ooh, stage, bar, done. I'm sorted. Ooh, Finfest wristband, need it. I think I got that somewhere. Might be. It's like, I think they did proper wristbands for Finfest, did they? I can't remember.
I think so.
Yeah. It was the
Yeah, they did.
It's like proper fabric ones, right?
Yeah,
I think they were. Yeah.
I think it's on my table, but I'll find it later.
I know the band passes had Moomins on them.
Yeah, I've still got mine.
I kept mine as well because it's a really cool one.
Yeah, it's hanging up on the wall.
Yeah, Moomin's on that. For anyone that doesn't know. But unless you were at Filmfest, then if you noticed, Moomins. And they only had the one stage at the garage because there's only that one stage, so no clashes, so you can go out and get food if you wanted. So, and they had the merch store upstairs, which where a lot of the bands hung out. And speaking of Dave Rotten, he was actually there, just walking around and chatting to the bands because he knows them, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel bad because I wanted to talk to the guy who was in what are they called? Sadistic Forest, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Because he used to be in the bass, who's the vocalist bass, he used to be in Hooded Menace, which I'm surprised they weren't there, but I guess they... No, I know why Hooded Menace wasn't there. They were busy doing something, working on new material, I think, or something, can't remember. And another band that would have been great there was Demigod, but I don't think they're a band anymore.
Yeah, Demigod would have been cool.
Yeah, that wouldn't be cool if they were... I don't know if it's still a band. They might still be a band. I might be wrong. Well, they're not anymore. No,
I've got no idea if they're active
I'm
or not.
pretty sure they're not a band anymore. I'm not going to double check. Should I double? No. I'll look it up later. Maybe no. People are going to say he's got it wrong again. Well, sod off. Look, but before I carry on with asking you about merch and shit, I'm doubting myself here because I'm an idiot. Demigod from Finland. No, they're not a band anymore. I was right. They're not a band anymore. If they were, that would have been great. But sadly, wasn't meant to be. But we did have Demolic, Ripakulu, Convulse, Pertinence, who I became very friendly with at Scandinavia Death Fest in Sweden, Stockholm. Dismember, they were there. That's why I went. And of course, I've been in Sweden. But anyway, about the merch, we know where to get the new album from. You can get it from their website, but if they wanted to get it from you personally, where would they find this one then?
I don't think there's any copies left.
Probably like distros or something like that. Because we sold out our copies of Force Back Life like quite a while ago.
Yeah.
Well, this one you can get from either these guys or Transcending.
Yeah. Like
if you want
stock on
vinyl
our
or
Bandcamp store.
Bandcamp, because we've got t-shirts as well. We still got t-shirts.
Yeah, we certainly do.
Because I still need to get one.
Yeah, we've got lots in our Bandcamp. We've got like merch. We've got vinyl as well because like the label, there's no stock of the labels. So if you want vinyl, you're gonna have to buy it from us.
Mm-hmm.
So for all you vinyl lovers out there.
Yeah, but there's not many. There's like under 10 copies left. So if you want one, get it quick.
Just give me an idea. Because I've got the CD. I need the vinyl, but I need a new case for my vinyls because the one behind me is pretty much filled up. And we mentioned Bolt for in Battle There Is No Law is in that case. And it's a reissue because there's a splatter vinyl. And I still need to put my vinyl player up, which is covered by crap. Because I'm lazy. and I don't have any speakers. But yeah, I think that covers most of the things I was going to talk about with you guys. Apart from, obviously, you got a new album in the works. I'm not going to ask for any titles because you probably don't have a title for the album yet.
I haven't got a fucking clue yet.
Not a clue. So
put it this way: each song, there's 7 songs, and each song's we just refer to as track 1, track 2, track 3, track 4.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, there's no concepts behind it yet. Just the music's there.
Yeah, fuck it. We might just title it album number 3.
title.
just release it. Like try to claim it's some like avant-garde thing or some sort of statement against the music industry or some bullshit like that.
Yeah,
instead of just admitting the fact that we're just really fucking lazy.
Yeah, because there's some bands that call it as like, if it's their 13th album, they call it 13 or something. With you guys, you just say 3.
Yeah, titles just fuck it. It's album number 3.
It's just it's called Live Bear. What's it called? 3, I guess, because it's their 3rd album.
Yeah. It works.
When do we expect that to come out? Then this year? Or
absolutely.
No, it won't be this year. Hopefully next year. But we gotta, by the time we get it recorded, mastered, and then gets put out by the label, it's not. It'll be next year at the earliest.
Yeah, I dare say it'll be next year, because like even if like if we feel as though we're ready to record at some point this year, it'd be like just typically trying to bring an album out like kind of like by the tail end of the end. So it's not the ideal time to release a record around then. Everybody's coming up with the top 10, top 20 lists, all that sort of stuff. Like it tends to get buried quite a bit. So
yeah, unless you're like a bigger band who can do that.
Yeah.
But like for bands at our level, it's just not going to get heard by as many people.
Well, at least you got it all written out and stuff. You just need to meet up and rehearse it.
We just need to hammer it. Like
hammer it out as soon as
get it down. Like
and COVID's no longer a threat. But
yeah, and that's also like the important thing. Like I think there's only really certain amount of stuff we can do kind of at home. Eventually, like there is just going to involve an element of we need to actually meet up in person and sort of like thrash it out.
Yeah, because how far away do you guys live from each other?
I live about 30-second walk from Jamie.
Yeah,
30 seconds
around the corner from each other.
Yeah, but Richard, our other guitarist, lives in Glasgow. Everyone else is quite nearby.
Mm-hmm.
Like we could drive to Liam Matt's place in under 10 minutes from where we are. It's just Richard, who now lives in Glasgow, because he used to live around the corner as well.
But moved to Scotland.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he took a job up there. So
if it's
I think it was a job offer that was really good. To be fair, so like
it
made sense for him.
Yeah, I enjoyed Glasgow because I went there last year for Lords of the Land, and I saw Lee there.
Yeah, Glasgow's a really cool city. We always enjoy playing there.
Yeah, Glasgow's really nice. I really enjoyed it. And is there any new bands you guys checked out recently? Because I checked out Frozen Soul, and I'm pretty much hooked on them now.
In terms of like brand new bands,
brand new.
I guess the one this year would be Holder for me. It's like a one-woman black metal band from America. I think she's actually Belgian. Just like really good, like old school black metal album. Medieval themed as well. It reminds me a bit of like dark medieval times and that kind of thing. I've been listening to that loads.
Cool, I've been listening to that.
And the new Runes of Everest album as well. I've been listening to that quite a bit. They're probably my main two. Although Runes of Everest aren't a new band, they've been around for a while. And they're not even a band, it's one guy. But yeah.
Yeah, it could be a brand new band. It could be a band that's been out for donkey's years now.
Yeah, and as always, I've just been listening to the Judas Priest record table because it's the greatest album ever made.
We love Judas Priest here in the chat. And Iron Maiden and Sabbath and Motorhead as well. Got them.
No, not many people seem to share my opinion that Turbo's the peak of all music.
Well, Turbo is great. Yeah,
anyone who disagrees is just wrong.
It's like if someone says, "Oh, Turbo's not great," it's like you're just like, "Fuck off," then. So
I just don't understand, man.
I mean, if someone said, "I just don't get Judas Priest," it's like, what's not to get? They're heavy metal. They're amazing. Rob Halford is a god.
Yep.
Along with Lemmy and Dio. May those two rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
And Alexia, you mentioned Children of Bodom earlier in the chat. He passed away, of course, which sucks. It's like,
yeah, that came out as a bit of a shock. Like, I remember
I
when the
just
news
saw it,
broke,
so-
like, we just messaged each other, just saying, what the actual fuck? Like,
Yeah.
I was just like, it was like start of this year, and I was like, oh, Lexi's family.
yeah, because he's working on a new project.
Yeah, because Joan Bowden split up, obviously.
Yeah.
And then he was working on something new. I thought, oh, that's going to be good.
Yeah, they were like a gateway band for me and lots of other people. So like, it was a weird one because like when I was growing up, like probably one of my favorite guitar players. When we went to Finland, I sacrificed a whammy bar to Lake Bodom actually.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that was the first thing we did, like landing in Finland, wasn't it? Like we got picked up by the Slothers guys, and like,
because
we'll go to Lake Bodom or something, like on the way to Helsinki, because it's sort of like a small detour.
it was on the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. Yeah, because Alexi also, before John Bowden took off, he was in Impaled Nazarene for a time. And he only played on one album, and I'm trying to remember what the album's called, and it came out in 2000. It'll come to me later. I'll look it up. And last question for this evening before I let you guys go. Is there any festivals you would like to play that you haven't played yet? Once we can all go to festivals and play them, or be there as a punter.
To be honest, at the moment, anything really, as long as it's like, appropriate. We were looking at, well, we're actually booked to play a festival in Germany, but I don't think it'll be going ahead. And even if it does, I think with the additional cost of Brexit, it's unlikely we'll be playing unless something drastic changes. Because the new costs are going to make it impossible for bands our level to play in Europe.
For a lot of bands.
Yeah.
Anywhere going in, any band from here or America or just everywhere is going to find it hard to get into Europe or out of Europe to play or whatever. But I don't want to think about that yet until I start again.
We're not really going to start thinking about, like, seriously, like, until the COVID situation sort of like calms down to the extent that, like, large scale gatherings are, remotely possible, because, otherwise it's just kind of expending kind of like thought and energy into, something that's just not going to happen at the moment.
Yeah, you don't want to think too far ahead. Really,
deal with one disaster at a time.
Yeah, just see what comes. But I'm just trying to think festivals you would be certain at. Well, ever thought about Bloodstock?
I mean, if like our booking agent sorted for us, yeah, but I've got no interest in like Metal to the Masses or any Battle of the Bands type thing. No interest at all. So if our booking agent made it happen, then yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, if you could play Bloodstock, yeah, that'd be.
Yeah, I mean, we're not really into like the whole Battle of the Bands thing.
Yeah, there are bands that do that. Either they do it and get through, or they made so much of an impact. They're like, "Oh, do you want to play Bloodstock?" Yeah. And then,
so yeah, if it happens, it happens. But yeah,
I mean,
we're kind of easy in our approach to it, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's this thing, when an offer comes in, like, we take a look at it, like, we think if it's a good show to play or a good festival to be on. We tend to sort of like scrutinize for offers, quite a bit.
Well, just again, see what happens. Don't have to.
Because unfortunately, and like I don't exactly want to be like a harbinger of doom and gloom here, but like
everyone's feeling like that.
I think the main challenges to booking shows and such like in the future, it's like one, it's when everybody worldwide, because let's face it, we're very connected in the national industry.
Yeah, definitely.
It's when everybody worldwide is reasonably confident that COVID everywhere is under control, and like when large scale events like come back, it's whether there's going to be any risks to sort of like breakouts like happening again, and then we'll just find ourselves back to square one. And the other thing, which I don't know what it's like across in Europe and whatnot, but looking very much sort of closer to home in the UK, it's just seeing which venues are going to survive this, because Trillions Rock Bar, which is local venue in Newcastle, we've played there quite a bit. Lee and I have also worked with him quite a lot with Mighty Great Bookings to sort of bring bands in Newcastle to book and for the play shows and stuff. They've had to do a call out for help. The Temple of Boom in Leeds, like one of our favorite venues.
Blackheart, yeah.
Yeah, the Black Heart, like they came up with a very, very sort of grim somber post saying they need £100,000 or something before the end of March, otherwise they're just flat out going under. So that's kind of like the big immediate challenges to shows and such in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like just the focus, I think at the moment, it's just trying to keep these places going. To make sure that we've even got venues to go to, when we're actually able to play shows again, because otherwise it's like everybody's just like I was saying before, I think everyone's sort of just deluding themselves to thinking that like it's going to magically happen in a few months.
Because I remember watching an interview with Aaron from My Dying Bride. It was with the European Metal Festival Alliance that they did, because obviously festivals weren't going ahead last year.
Yeah.
Which we could probably discount because that just sucked. He was on about like saying, hopefully like gigs. He's saying like, gigs might not happen this year, but the next year, because some gigs have already been pushed.
Yeah. Like I'd certainly like to hope that next year is a far more like reasonable hope for everybody. I just think this year, like we're much more productive, just sort of like knuckling down and just
focusing on the
trying to keep things going, so that like we've got places to go to next year.
Yeah, just for you guys, just to keep it on a positive note, just focus on the new material. Focus on the new material, and when you can meet up again, hammer the fuck out of it in rehearsals.
That's certainly the plan and intention.
And then record it, obviously, and then bring it out to all of us, crazy nutbags who love to see you guys live. And obviously, I'm going to show the two albums again to people watching it. Make sure to pick them up.
Yep,
the debut
please do.
And the new one, which is fucking hell. I can't say it. There we go. Which is amazing. I love the cover, and obviously, it's like because the logo doesn't like you can't touch the logo. It's got like some sort of material, and you can just go like that. It's really cool.
Yeah, check out the band's Bandcamp. We've got work merch stock there.
T-shirts, patches, badges.
Send them a message, give her an email. Just any questions? Just man.
Yeah, just go on their Bandcamp and got any questions to ask them, then message them, and I'll help you out. And on behalf of me, I'd like to thank you both for coming on Jake's Metal Chat.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, you're welcome. Just wanted to get more of my favourite bands on here and people that I've met, and I consider good mates. I can see you both mates of mine, as well as the other guys I've had on here. And I hope to see you again in person, hopefully in Bristol. And maybe if I come up to Newcastle, like, I got to see them in their neck of the woods. Fuck, I'm lost. That's what I'm like. Where's the venue?
Yeah, we'll definitely come down Bristol again. We always like going to Bristol.
Yeah.
I also like visiting it as a place. I really like the city. So I mean, we'll be back in Bristol at some point.
Got a lot of places in Bristol you can visit. Obviously, the Griffin being the main one. Always the Griffin.
I do like the Griffin.
Because the Griffin needs love too, and I bought a bunch of beer from John, and I think I've only got 3 cans of the beer that I bought from him left. What are you gonna do? Once again, thank you very much. They do have a new album coming out. Not this year, but they got to record damn thing first.
Yeah. Maybe next year.
Maybe next year. But be sure to pick up the 2 albums I already showed. I'm going to do it again. Ta-da! But get this one, because it is their most recent. Get it. Because that guy there's like, please just buy the album. I'm just laying here. And obviously, the first one, if you're a big horror fan and you're like, oh, Reanimator, getting it. So for me, it was both Reanimator and it's death metal. So
cool.
I'll let you guys get on with your evening. What time is it? Bloody hell, nearly 10 to 8.
Yeah, I need another cup of tea.
Get yourself a cup of tea. The most British thing you can do is get yourself a cup of tea. I'm going to get an orange juice. People probably thinking, oh God, these guys are boring. He's drinking tea, he's drinking orange juice. I'm not drinking any booze until maybe tomorrow. So he's been Jamie, he's been Rob from Live Burial. And I've been Jake of Jake's Metal Chat, your host as always. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy what I do. And well, it helps me a lot and to do more of these videos. And if I didn't do these videos, I would be going crazy. But I have music and I got walks to go on as well. So see you all next time. And I got another chat tomorrow.
Cool. See you later.
Yeah, in a bit, man.